unbeaten season, regardless of the sport, regardless of the level, is always an incredible feat, an incredible accomplishment. Tonight, the Globe Tigers stand just one game away from doing that very thing. Championship Saturday continues, and we welcome you to it here on Cox 9. Along with Fat Lever, I'm Kevin Ray. Glad you could join us. And Fat, the stage is set for an unbelievable finish to this incredible day of championship basketball. The Globe Tigers come in at 32-0, taking on the #1 seed Monument Valley Mustangs, and I'm already getting goosebumps.
It's going to be a good game. If you're ready for some excitement, we had exciting games all day long. This is just the finale. Monument
Valley comes in here, as we mentioned, the #1 seed, and this is a club that has really fought and earned that #1 seed. A 9-point win over a very good 5A Camelback ball club. They come in here. Let's take a look at their road to the finals, defeating Chino Valley. They move past Rio Rico at 67-50. And then the game you saw last night, and I know you said an instant classic.
Kevin, one of the most unbelievable games you'll see against Tuba City. Didn't think the shot was going in, but once the shot went in, to come back to be down 19 points and then be able to come back and win the basketball game on the last second shot, that's exciting basketball, especially high school basketball.
Lance John hit the wild three-point shot. We'll have a chance to see it once we get into the telecast. Now, they come in here taking on an unbeaten Globe Tigers ball club, 32-0, a city of champions, if you will. And Globe comes in trying to finish off what will be a dream season.
A dream season, but at the same time, they're an energized team. They get up and down the floor. They're an exciting team to watch. And some of the players, when they're out of the ball game, they're never out of the ball game. They're just down by a number of points, but they're always in the ball game no matter what the score is.
Well, let's take a look at the road to the finals for the Globe Tigers. And this is a team trying to cap it all off with a win here today. Altusay as they roll past them, defeating Gray Hill 71-55. And then defeating Holbrook rather easily 67-58. You see they're up big in the first half, leading by as many as 21. I think we all know here that no runaway is going to be taking place here this evening. One of the reasons why the Globe Tigers feel pretty good about their chances, though, tonight, Cy Tomerlin.
And he's a total player. He's a good inside player, good outside player, but they've got something to prove. Runner-up from last year's state championship. This year, this is their number. They're looking for it, and with Cy Tomerlin being there, he wants to take them to that promised land.
Can the Globe Tigers go 33-0, or will it be the Monument Valley Mustangs wearing the 3A crown? Stick around and find out. We've got the tip-off of the 3A championship coming up next. Well, the air is electric here in the Purple Palace in Why Not Championship Saturday, culminating with what should be a thriller. The 3A Boys State Championship, the unbeaten Globe Tigers and the Monument Valley Mustangs. Alongside Fat Lever, I'm Kevin Ray. Glad you could join us. Let's get you the Globe Tigers starting lineup, 32-0, trying to make it 33.
Number 13, Lance John.
The backcourt, wearing number 13, Jacob Boykin. Radonovich, wearing number 14. At the forward position, number 25, Sam Cunningham. At the other guards, number 31, Clark Bennett. And the center, number 35, Cy Tomerlin. And now for the Mustangs of Monument Valley. They come in with guard number 5, Ian Delmar. Forward, Marino Sullivan. The other forward, Brennan Tallman. The center, Clayton Ed. And the dual center position, if you will, number 20, Kyle Phillips. That is your starting lineup for Monument Valley and the Globe Tigers. We'll have the opening tip when we come back. there is anybody left in Globe or Monument Valley tonight, folks. They are all here at America West Arena in downtown Phoenix, Copper Square. And why? The 3A Boys State Championship between the Globe Tigers and the Monument Valley Mustangs. We've already heard the noise the Monument Valley fans can make watching their girls fall short in the bid for the 3A girls crown. But they have plenty of energy and fuel left. They're geared up for this one, and it should be a terrific showdown.
And there's more of them in the boys' final than the women's game. So I expect the crowd to be just as intense, just as outgoing, just as energetic. But the size differentials that the Globe Tigers have over Monument Valley may be the key to the ball game.
You know, this is a Globe Tiger team that has really known nothing but success this season. State champions this year in football, and what a way to round out. Well, it doesn't matter, you're a senior, junior, whatever. A fantastic year of sports for the Tigers.
Puts a lot of pressure on winning basketball games, but that's what they enjoy.
And to try and do so with an unbeaten record just adds to it. It'll be Cy Tomerlin jumping it up in the center circle. The Tigers wearing the road black trimmed in orange and white. The tip will be controlled by the Mustangs. Ian Delmar brings it up into the front court for Monument Valley.
And you see the Globe Tigers starting this man-to-man defense. See how far away from the basket will Cy Tomerlin come away.
Sullivan outside, looking for the three-point shot. Gets the good look, can't get it. Delmar's first jumper off the mark. Quick pass over to the front court. Long three-point shot off the heel of the iron. But a rebound pulled down by Globe.
That's the key. Second chance shots. Second chance shots. How many second chance shots will the Globe Tigers get?
Radonovich firing away on that first three-point shot.
Bad thing about Cy Tomerlin, he can't lift the guard the tallest guy on the floor because the tallest guy may be 3 feet outside the three-point shooting range.
This three-pointer shot up by Monument Valley's Kyle Phillips. Back comes Tomerlin. He likes to look at the NBA three and give it to him.
He shot it with a lot of confidence, didn't even think about it, didn't even hesitate, just went up and knocked it down. But he can't get into an outside shooting game with Monument Valley.
Clayton Edge sets up behind the double screen. He shoots the three-pointer, an air ball. Tomerlin there to pull down the rebound. Take it back outside, another long three, and the rainbow graded, this time from Clark Bennett.
Clark Bennett and both he and Cy Tomerlin, both sporting the orange shoes. Maybe that's the key to making threes early in the ball game.
And now a steal in the backcourt. Coming in for the lay-in, won't go. Crashing in was Radonovich, and now we'll have a reach-in foul called underneath.
And that's playing aggressive. That's playing hard. Globe is running after every loose ball, taking the shots is there, but they're actually really crashing the offensive rebounds. Here you see the turnover going to the basket strong, but look at all the black jerseys around there, and the white jerseys hadn't even come into the picture yet.
Boykin just couldn't convert on the lay-in. Tomerlin's turnaround left short on the follow. Radonovich down inside. He has it batted away from behind, so it'll remain Globe basketball.
Those are the second chance shots we talked about. They've got to start boxing out and pushing the offensive players away from the basket.
Cunningham on the inbound, brings it out now to Boykin. Out of the right wing, Radonovich set up straight away, 16-footer, no good from Cunningham.
The key to rebounding when you're a smaller guy is you've got to push the defensive player back, and that means you've got to put your body on him. If you don't put your body on him, then he can't feel the contact. The referees can't see the body contact.
5:52 left to go here in this opening quarter in this 3A Boys Championship. Another three-point shot off the mark. It'll be tapped out of bounds. Last touched. Boykin, they say, got a hand on it.
And Kyle Phillips, their leading scorer on Monument Valley, hasn't taken a shot yet, and he's one of those silent scorers. You know he's there, you know he's going to put some numbers up, you just don't know when.
Phillips on the inbound, and now it travels. Ian Delmar.
That's just one of those impatient plays. You wait, don't wait for the play to develop and see what happens. As soon as you catch the ball, you're trying to put it on the floor before there's any place to go. Now you
6-0 our score here.
Monument Valley goes into that man-to-man pressure. They're not putting as much pressure because they're worried about protecting the inside.
Runner off the baseline, no good. Loose ball tapped around. Radanovic got a hand on it, and it'll last touch by Radanovic, they say.
Monument Valley hasn't come away with a clean defensive rebound to this point. So they've got to put bodies on them.
Early first quarter play here. Monument Valley still looking for their first points of the evening.
What they're doing is they got a 1-4 offense spread where the 4 guys on the baseline, if they can't beat the guy off the dribble, then they're dribbling it to one side for the dribble handoff.
Clayton Ed on the move, stolen away by Radanovic. Quick pass over to the front court. Easy lay-in, count it. As Clark Bennett.
When you turn the ball over like that because you're in a 1-4 offense, there's no one back to protect the turnover in the backcourt.
Clayton Ed up between the legs. Now handed off to Ian Delmar. Globe's done a nice job defensively inside, and now the whistle and a foul called is Kyle Phillips taking it strong to the glass. He'll have a chance to go to the line and shoot 2 and get his team on the board. They trail 8-0 here.
And that's what Kyle Phillips has to do, take the ball to the basket. And the Monument Valley players trying to create something, but they've got to get it within motion. You got to keep the guys moving, but as long as Cy Tomlin sits there in the middle, no one's going to come because he jumps too well and he has that size advantage.
And so finally, Monument Valley on the board.
See if they can get this press going and see if they can force turnovers, get them into a tempo game that is more towards the Monument Valley's favor.
Boykin being handed by Ed. Now between the rings, Tarmelin on the post up, turnaround, kick it back out to Bennett. Turnaround off the glass, too strong. Phillips has it for the Mustangs.
And he's one of the tallest players on Monument Valley, so he's playing more inside than he did the other night. Before he was playing strictly outside.
Another long three-point shot. They've taken one of them already, but can't knock him down.
They've missed their shots, but that hasn't hurt them as much as the lack of rebounding inside.
Radanovic on the follow, and Radanovic has been a load already here in this early going.
And that's what's going to hurt them down the stretch because that size is not going to wear down. They're not going to get any smaller overnight.
Ian Delmar on a quick move to the basket. He'll be here with a traveling call.
That's number two traveling call. Second time it's been called on him. So he's got to worry about putting the ball down first before he lifts up that pivot foot.
10-2, Globe with the lead. Nearing the 3.5-minute mark here in this opening quarter of play in this 3A Boys State Championship. Clark Bennett outside, quickly swinging around the perimeter, down inside to Tomlin. Nice drop step, spin it to the rack, and score it.
And what's nice about that, when he drop step, he didn't have to put the ball on the floor. When he turned and was over that left shoulder, he was right at the basket.
Down in the paint they go to Tallman. Swinging around the perimeter now. Phillips with his back to the basket, trying to back down, and an offensive foul is going to be called on Phillips.
Kyle Phillips put that little elbow out there to clear himself out. He doesn't necessarily have to do it because even though he's going against a stronger guy, he still has a size advantage. Monument Valley is putting not putting as much pressure. They're just putting the token pressure on the Globe Tigers, not knowing what they're going to do. So they're not really playing their type of game.
Now Monument Valley wants to call a timeout here.
Well, they're getting built on the board. Second chance shots. And then on the offensive end, they're not scoring, hitting those outside jump shots. So they've got to be more concerned about putting pressure and eliminating those second chance opportunities for Globe.
You see their head coach, Richard Beverly.
You know, the inside key is for Globe is to get the ball down to Tomberlin. Here you see a shot goes up. Talked about second chance shots. There's an easy putback for someone 6'8" down low. He's not going to miss many of those. The earlier shot where he just turned over his left shoulder right at the basket, he's not going to miss many of those. Then you go to the other end with Monument Valley trying to live by the threes. They're going to live by it, but you also have to be able to force turnovers and get your pace of game going.
Yeah, they seem right now very flat-footed, getting beat to all the loose balls, and Richard Beverly had seen enough out of his ball club.
But what you see is when they get down, they're still down by points, but if they start making those threes, they're right back in the ball game.
Well, as we saw yesterday, put Tuba City down by 15. Phillips backing down. Swings a quick pass outside. Up strong to the glass, and it's going to be blocked by Cunningham. Terrific block without drawing the foul.
Nice weak side by help by Cunningham, coming over, taking advantage of his size.
Lance John taking that shot. He is the big game winner yesterday. Up out of the backcourt. There's Ian Delmar being nudged defensively by Boykin.
And you look at Monument Valley, they haven't had a chance to use their size yet, their quickness. They haven't really shown that quickness that we've seen in the past where they get up and down the floor, they put pressure on you, they make the shots, and the start of the ball game, you want to get that lid off by getting an easy shot first.
John handling the basketball. Now they work it around the perimeter. Back outside to Kyle Phillips. Trying to back down on Cunningham. Drive and dish inside by John. Little fade away into pain, no good. And it's Radonovich grabbing another rebound, but it's poked away from behind. Quick pass up court. Kyle Phillips there awaiting, and he scores the easy lay-in.
Kyle Phillips took a chance by reaching around. He got a poke into it, got away with the reach around. Normally they'll call that foul. Teammate picked it up, gave him an easy layup on the other end.
Tomlin whistled for a travel.
That's what we're seeing. Big guys like to feel contact. Tomlin was feeling for Kyle Phillips back down low. Couldn't feel him. Took those extra steps to try to get more body contact. Didn't get it. Called the travel on him.
Here comes Delmar. Head being defended by Boykin. Trying to get the screen now from Phillips. Takes it on the baseline left, loses the dribble off his foot. Turnover, Monument Valley.
These aren't forced turnovers. Monument Valley's hurting themselves with the turnovers. And as you watch the game, the sagging defense that Globe plays with Tomlin sitting there in the middle, and then all of a sudden you get Clark Bennett sitting there too. There's nowhere for the Globe players to go.
Out to Tomlin, little head and shoulder fake, moved in, and the defender managed to get over and get himself set up. Nice job of the senior, Brennan Tallman.
Great defensive play. Moved his feet, got to the baseline, cut him off. Knows he's got the quickness over a 6'8" Tomlin trying to take the guard from the outside. Here you see it, the ball's moved over. The shoulder fake didn't go for it. All of a sudden, the Monument Valley player steps right in there, takes a good charge.
Back outside to John, and got happy feet as he made his move to the basket.
That's the third time we've seen that call, so the referees have been watching their feet and see what type of foot movement they have. So now the Monument Valley players have to make that adjustment.
Fifth turnover of this quarter from Monument Valley. Under a minute to play, 14-4, Globe on top. Tomlin straight away, 16-footer. Boy, beautiful soft touch right there.
Got a nice stroke for a big guy within that 15-foot range, but we've seen him go out and knock down the three as well.
Phillips launches his own three from downtown.
Now there's a prettier stroke. Kyle Phillips can shoot the ball. He has nice rotation on the ball. Good feel for it. The only thing is you'd like to see him get more aggressive.
Off the pressure, Cunningham sets up. Jumper won't go, but Tomlin there with easy putback.
No one's putting a body on him. Who's ever guarded him, they've got to worry about putting a body on Tomlin and all the other inside players.
Back across, they swing it out of Lance John, moving baseline. Kick it out far side. Tallman shoot a three. Rim out, no good. Still controlled. Phillips has it. Putback won't go, but he'll draw the foul against Boykin.
Phillips is one of those type of players you never know what he's going to do. You know he's going to score, but he doesn't have that aggressive mentality. But when you look at his box scores at the end of the night, he's going to give you 18 to 15, 18 points. But on the defensive end, you know, you've got someone like Tomlin who's trying to stay with him. And that's a total mismatch when he has the ball in the offensive end.
Phillips missing on that free throw attempt. Phillips with all 7 of his team's points.
And the other thing that hasn't happened is Monument Valley hasn't done anything too exciting to get their fans into the ball game yet.
Pressure. And now he travels on Tomlin. Looking for somewhere to go, and everybody was covered up with that full court pressure by Monument Valley. 3.3 remaining here in this opening quarter. And the Tigers have low with an 11-point lead, but Monument Valley with 3-point shooters all over the floor, a chance to cut into it. Phillips gets one off before the horn, right off the front of the iron, won't go. So 1 quarter in the books. The Tigers 32-0, trying to cap off a perfect season. They lead it 18-7. One quarter complete. It's the Globe Tigers leading the Monument Valley Mustangs 18-7 with Pat Lever. I'm Kevin Ray here at America West Arena. A day of championships here on Cox 9, and capping it all off with this 3A state title game.
And the thing you just mentioned earlier about the score, the actual score is 18 Globe, 7 for Phillips.
Well, that's a great point. As a team, the Monument Valley Mustangs are 2 of 10. Just 1 3-point shot that off the arm of Phillips.
And then also he's missed 2 free throws down at the end as well.
Boykin will fire away on a 3, won't get it. But Radonovich has single-handedly out-rebounded Monument Valley as Clark Bennett guns from beyond the arc and knocks it down.
And when you get other guys scoring from the outside like that, what does it do? It opens up that inside for a guy like Cy Tomlin.
Pass down inside. Cunningham had it, and it's going to be stripped away by Adrian Doctor. It will remain Monument Valley basketball. Looked like it went over the hand of Doctor, but inbound out to Phillips. Delmore now drive in, dish it out. 3-point shot on the way, no good. Cy Tomlin skying for the rebound.
That's that size, going after the rebound. I don't think Mustangs have gotten more than 2 second chance opportunities on the offensive end from the rebounds.
Pull-up jumper. Clark Bennett leaves this one short. Phillips snares the errant shot. Up into the front court he comes. Delmar. Hold it up high now is Phillips. Back to Delmar. Brandon Harrison, who's coming to the ball game to start this second quarter for Monument Valley. Doctor with a quick pass over to Phillips. Phillips put it on the floor. Jump stop. Tries to feed it inside, but Radonovich there to steal it away. Over to the front court he comes. Dish it off to Bennett. Thought about the 3 instead. Siren down inside.
Transition, the tempo starting to change. If Monument Valley can keep this tempo going, that's the style of play they want to get into.
Phillips left baseline, leans back, shoots a long 3. Radonovich got his hand on it, and flying out of bounds.
That's a tough shot to take, but you got to get some type of scoring opportunities. And the thing that Monument Valley hasn't been able to do is penetrate all the way to the basket, draw the defensive players, and then kick off to an offensive score from the outside.
Quick inbound, the first real good inside look they've had all night long as Lance John scores it.
And that's one of the smallest guys on the floor taking the inside shot. Now Monument Valley goes back to that 1-2-2 zone that they like to play.
Swinging around the perimeter. Radonovich, long 3-point shot, way off the mark. Cunningham tracks it down, gets it outside to Bennett. Bennett back beyond the NBA 3-point line. He'll back it out, draws the defense to him in the process.
That 1-2-2 zone is just, it expands. It goes from wherever the ball is. There's always someone that's going to run to the ball. And the first pass is the person that receives the pass is the person that's going to be trapped.
Globe's being very patient with it, though. Tomlin, 3 on the way. And nothing is going to stop him inside, outside. He has shown an ability to score every spot on the floor.
And that's double duty ability, being able to hurt you from the outside, being able to hurt you from the inside. And he shows both abilities on the second putbacks and also just going straight up shooting at 3.
Lance John, step back, 16-footer, no good. Clark Bennett leaving high for the rebound. Now has it stolen away by Delmar. Delmar will go in for the easy left-hand lay-in.
Never out of the ball game. Never out of the ball game when you start making those type of steals and to getting the defense, the little guys scoring, it opens up for your other guys to get that momentum.
Tomlin baseline left. This one won't go. Phillips on a rebound. Well, the Mustangs have definitely gone to the quicker lineup in an effort to try to pick up the pace. And Lance John banks it home.
Nice shot, pull up. No, he can't get all the way to the basket. Use the backboard at your friend and kiss it off the glass for 2.
Now Boykin very patiently walking up into the front court. Now you begin to hear this Monument Valley crowd work their way back into this game. Cunningham, nice spin move off the block.
Well, early on, Monument Valley didn't have much to cheer for. Now all of a sudden they get a couple points on the board. They got something to cheer for. And the Golden Hope Tigers come back and throw it right back in with the turnover. But they're patient enough to move the ball around to get the shot they want.
Boy, Boykins with a killer crossover. Dish it inside for the easy lay-in.
That's a momentum changer. Ooh.
Boykins just throws the defender out high. 28-13. Delmar on the drive, loses a dribble. On the steal, here comes Bennett. Has numbers, no look dish. A little too fancy on that.
A little too fancy on that. And when you run a fast break, you know the big guy is coming down the middle of the lane. So but here's, look at the crossover here. Now what makes this nice is all of a sudden he just makes the pass straight down low for Sam Cunningham to finish it off. But then when you get that break opportunities like that, you know a big guy's trailing, spread it out a little bit, and then all of a sudden just throw it off the glass or go to the basket. If you miss it, the only person that's going to rebound is the big 6'8" Cy Tomlin.
Elisha McCary checks into the ballgame now for Monument Valley. Air ball shot up there by Clayton Ed, who just came back into the ballgame. (28-13) lead here in this second quarter for the Globe Tigers. McCary really pressuring and defending on Radanovic.
Well, they've got to start putting that type of pressure and not let get beat to the basket that easily.
Bennett with a little short, soft pull-up. Can't get it to go down. Monument Valley working back the other way. McCary, drive in, scoop it up right hand, won't go. Radanovic on a rebound.
Those are the energy builders that kill you when you're right at the basket and you can't finish them when you have trouble scoring.
Radanovic driving and was shoved from behind by McCary, who has been very physical in the 1 or 2 minutes that he's been in. Radanovic will go to the line to shoot 2.
Here you see just great penetration, getting down to the basket. Not much, there's contact there, but nothing intentionally.
Radanovic with 2 points on the evening, but he has done all the grunt work, all the dirty work, getting all those loose ball rebounds, keeping balls alive.
And those are the players you love to have on your team. You want those guys on because you know the guys are going to score, they're going to score. The guys who are going to pass are going to pass. You got to have that little intangible. And when you have someone like Cunningham coming in, adding that intangible, it makes you a better basketball team.
Philip Edwards now is coming to the ball game for the Globe Tigers. Also checking in here will be Brennan Tallman for the Mustangs. Sitting down will be Brandon Harrison, a senior. During the 2-minute mark here in this first half. Played Ned off the right elbow, brings it out. Top of the key now to Tallman.
And that's a good offense for the Mustangs. They just keep the ball moving around like that. They just got to keep the ball active. They just can't hold it because the Globe Tigers are too strong, too big down low, so they got to keep them moving and then find those mismatches that they can take advantage of.
McCary had that wide open three-point look, but he couldn't knock it down, and that's really been the story of this first half. They have fired away at will from three-point range, but have just not had a lot of success. 1 of 13. Josh Hall, our statistician.
And then they've missed their threes and three-point attempts, but they haven't forced the turnovers either.
Radonovich coming over the top of McCary this time, trying to save the air ball. Shot up that time. Kevin Horta also into the ball game now for the Globe Tigers. Ed will put it on the floor, drive, dish it out, left wing. Phillips, 16-footer, won't go. Tap back out, controlled by Tallman.
When a player like Kyle Phillips is missing those type of shots, he's tired.
Radonovich after the steal, take it down, lick to the floor, lay it in.
And he's tired. He didn't get down on the floor that time. When he goes up and he's wide open, he's missing shots that poorly for a good shooter. Something fatigue is his factor.
Edwards with another near steal for the Tigers. McCary trying to direct traffic, and boy, just Globe Tiger hands all over the place.
And it's easy to have your hands in passing lanes when you're close to each other. When you don't spread the floor, and Monument Valley hasn't opened up the floor. Early on, they opened up the floor. Now it's kind of becoming more congested. And the taller you are, the less area you have to move in when players are standing next to you.
In fact, you hear coaches use the phrase all the time, spacing, and that's one of the things we've just not seen Monument Valley have anything real good of. Their spacing has been very poor. They've congested the lane. You have one guy sitting outside looking for the three-point shot and then trying to force passes down inside where everybody else is, including the Globe Tiger defenders.
Well, and you got 10 players in a small radius. You're not going to get much activity going in there. Now, if you open up the floor, and the smaller guys will be able to take advantage because there's more room for them to operate in.
Nice feed down inside. Horta off of the pass from Cy Tomerlin as he gets the assist. Horta with the hoop.
And now we've seen Cy Tomerlin do a number of things. We've seen him score from the outside, score from the inside, make some nice passes, and change some shots.
Tallman on the aggressive drive off the baseline right. Gets hammered and was sent to the floor, and he will go to the line after the foul. 34-13 with 38.5 remaining here as we get another look at it.
But at the same time, you've got to be aggressive, going to the basket. Brennan Tallman still goes to the basket. Make him foul. You go to the free throw line. That gives you a chance to get a blow if you're tired. That gives you a chance to set up your defensive strategies going into the next play on the defensive end.
The head coach out there doing it all, Tony Lopez, coach for the Globe Tigers. He plays coach and cleanup crew as well.
He likes the way this ball game is going right now. He don't want anything to interfere with this game.
Anything to move it on. Keep the pace going. Tallman at the line.
And Monument Valley has to do something. You know, it's 38 seconds to go in the half. They've got to do something to get the crowd into the ball game. They've got to do something. Otherwise, your crowd doesn't do you any good. If they're sitting with their hands on, they're gonna get loud. And I expect Monument Valley to make a run because they're never out of a ball game.
Tallman gets 1 of 2, 34-14, remains a 20-point lead. Tomlin brings it up into the front court himself, stripped away by McCary. McCary gives chase to the basketball. Loose ball, scramble forward. Tallman comes away with it. Pass down inside of McCary. He's in there with his threes, but somehow squeezes it up over the top of him for the lay-in.
Everyone likes to see the underdog. That's David and the Goliath story.
Pass from Horta down inside to Cunningham off the mark. And here in the last 38 seconds, the Mustangs have managed a little bit of a run, at least to give them a sense of momentum.
And that's the type of pace of the game they want. That erratic pace, because if anything can happen when you're down and you got a chance to shoot the ball and score.
Clayton Edge, shot is blocked. Horn will sound. Half is over. It's been all Globe as they try to complete the perfect season, and they are well on their way. The Tigers leading the Mustangs of Monument Valley 34-16. We're back after this. Back at America West Arena, Championship Saturday continues here on Cox 9. Brad Lever, Kevin Ray courtside here at the Purple Palace. The Globe Tigers with an 18-point lead. If it were against anybody else, Pat, I might say this one's close to being over. But as we witnessed yesterday, Monument Valley's not really out of any game.
They're never out of any game, but they've got to do something to change the tide. They've got to do something to get their crowd into the game. And when the crowd gets involved, it builds momentum. When you're tired, that sixth man gives you that lift. And the Monument Valley team hasn't done anything to grab that excitement. They made one spurt. I expect them to make another spurt in the second half, but they can't make that spurt when they're down by 25 or 30 points.
Well, and really, I guess if you had to look at a couple of things other than the very solid shooting of Globe, it's been their ability to crash the boards, prevent any kind of second shot opportunities for Monument Valley, and then on the other end, converting on a few of those.
And what Globe is doing, they're getting their second chance shots. And when they're not getting second chance, they're getting hands on the ball. And the worst part for Monument Valley is they're getting hands on loose balls that are on the floor. Their 6'5", 6'8" players are getting on the floor with the smaller guys from Monument Valley. So if you are Globe, you've got to be happy with what's going on now, not just because of the score, but because they haven't pressured you to turn the ball over. They really haven't gotten their crowd into the game. They haven't done anything to change that momentum shift.
Well, the School of Monument Valley well represented here today, not only from the fans that you hear, although they have not yet erupted. We did hear them erupt earlier this evening. That's because the Monument Valley girls team played for the 3A state championship, and let's go back and take a look at that one. They were taking on Round Valley in a game that was a nail-biter from start to finish.
And when it all came down to the end, there was too much of Ashton Lashir. Finish on the continuation shot here. She finished tonight with 34 points, but at the same time, she never let her team get too far out of the ball game. And when they need someone to step up, she stepped up big time.
So congratulations to Round Valley, the Elks claiming the girls 3A state championship over Monument Valley. So Mustangs hoping to not go home completely empty-handed. But they've got a lot of work ahead as they trail the Globe Tigers 34-16. Our championship coverage will continue after this timeout. Back at America West Arena, a great crowd on hand. Don't have the official attendance numbers as of yet, but Pat, we have talked about it already. Have to believe that they will push that state championship record of 16,000 set just a few years ago when Monument Valley played Window Rock. A great crowd on hand. They've seen a pretty good game, though Monument Valley wants to see a little bit more of their Mustangs.
Yeah, Monument Valley fans want to see more of their basketball more of their basketball team, and not just hear about the fans. But the fan support is there. I'm sure in the locker room, coach has to give them more upbeat and get them more excited about this basketball game.
The Globe Tigers came into this ball game 32-0, a perfect season right here on the threshold. But it's been a pretty good year already for these Globe athletes. They were winners of the 3A football crown. Have a chance to take you back to the fall. There's Sam Van Cunningham coming up with a big touchdown.
Sam Cunningham has shown some football techniques on the basketball floor, down low, up underneath the basket.
You see him there with the interception and hoisting the football state championship trophy, and they hope to be repeating that scene out here at center court of America West Arena. And well, it's just not something that happens very often, whether it's 1A, 3A, 5A, you name it. We've got to have a basketball left. Will Globe get that trophy? We'll find out. We've got highlights and stats when we return. Back at America West Arena. First half in the books. It's been all Globe, 34-16. We welcome you back here to our championship coverage. Kevin Ray and Fat Lever joining you here courtside at America West Arena. And Fat, before we get a look at the first half highlights and some of the stats, right now the pace of the game clearly favoring these Globe Tigers.
It does, and it's one of those pace of games that's not going to change unless the Monument Valley players come in and do something about it, and that's an up-tempo. We see when they want to get energized. They can get energized. Ian is their energizer. He's tried to do things, but he's been limited because of the turnovers from those quick travel calls that the referees are calling, and they've got to adjust to that.
Let's get you a look at the first half highlights from this one. Here at America West, the Globe Tigers coming in and really setting the tone early. You see Radonovich with a quick pass down the floor to Clark Bennett.
Transition, easy points. They're going to get those baskets, but what they want to do is get the ball down low. Let Cy Tomlin work down low. Work down low, get the easy basket, and then come back and take those quick transition points that you get. On the other end, you've only got one person that's doing any scoring, and that's Phillips down low. In this position, he's not a down low player, but he scores. He's outside, but at the same time, when you come back, take quick shots and miss, and you get second and third opportunities and score, you're going to win ball games. On Monument Valley side, they've got to get energized. The small guys can energize you. Like little quick shots like that Lance John can put down. But more importantly, here's your energizer right there. Quick steal, get an easy basket. That lifts the fans up. That gets them back in it. That's more of Monument Valley type of basketball. But that killer crossover will embarrass anyone. And then at the same time, you give your team easy opportunity to score, like Sam Cunningham catching that pass just like on the football field.
Now we got to look at the leading scorers, Cy Tomlin, and he has shown the ability to hurt him inside, hurt him outside, hit a long three-point shot. Clark Bennett, Radonovich with 6 points. My guess is he has at least that many in rebounds. Sam Cunningham with 4 points as well. For the Monument Valley Mustangs, Kyle Phillips, their leading scorer. In fact, he scored their first 7 points of the game. Lance John came on late. And then Delmar and Elisha McCary each with 2 points. But there is no doubt that Monument Valley needs to come out in this first 2 or 3 minutes of the second half and kind of regain the tempo, as you point out. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is to force some turnovers and get some of those transition opportunities for yourself.
And you hit the key. You look at the stats, you see it's balanced scoring. But at the balanced scoring end, Globe has more points. And so what Monument Valley has to do is put more points on the board. If you have one player scoring 50 points, so what? You got to put points on the board, and that's why you need your guys to energize you, whether it's from the guard point or from the inside point. But on the Globe side, they're balanced scoring, and they've got everyone involved in scoring from the outside, inside, and in transition, which Monument Valley hasn't gotten too often.
And my guess is that Richard Beverly has said we've got to get a body on them when a shot goes up. We've seen Radonovich go in inside, almost untouched on a number of occasions.
And that's going to continue to happen if you don't put bodies and if you're out of position. When you're putting a lot of pressure, it gets you out of position somewhat, but you have to realize that we put a body on them, we feel them, make the contact, you want to get those second chances. If the little guys can get inside and score easy baskets, the big guys can get inside and get some rebounds as well.
Well, we'll find out what's in store for this second half when we come back. The Tigers and the Mustangs get ready for second half action here on Championship Saturday. Both teams back out on the floor for the Globe Tigers. A little earlier appearance, and not surprisingly, Monument Valley a little later coming out of the locker room. And in fact, we've talked about tempo. It's one thing to say it, but how do you try to create it? Because even the times that Monument Valley has tried to pick up full court pressure, you've got to credit Boykin, Radanovic, Bennett, all very good ball handlers. They just take care of the rock.
And that's the key. You got guys who can control the ball game by controlling the basketball. The guard from Globe has controlled the basketball game. And when they weren't able to control it, you had Cy Tomlin stepping back, bringing the ball up the court, or bringing it across court, handing it off. And the Monument Valley players set back once he got the ball because that's not the man that they're guarding. What Monument Valley has to do, they've got to take chances. And taking chances meaning if you give up a couple quick early fouls, that's okay. As long as the fouls don't put you in early foul trouble and you're just hacking to be hacking, but you got to change the momentum and get the type of tempo that you want to get. Monument Valley, they've got to make some threes. That's their game.
Well, and that's just it. You bring up the point right there. This is a team that loves to fire away. They fire away and no conscience whatsoever beyond the arc. But the only way you're going to loosen up that defense is to hit a few. They're 1 of 13 right now.
And some of the shots weren't even close. That's the bad part. When you got a shooter like Phillips who can light it up from anywhere and he misses badly and poorly, you're not going to win, and that's not going to change the momentum of the basketball game.
Get a chance to look at the numbers overall. And for the Globe Tigers, their three-point shooting very efficient, 4 of 6. And then on the other side of the ledger, you have the Mustangs 1 of 14, 26% shooting overall. They've got to find a way to, at the very least, get some offensive rebounds for maybe some easy second chance points. But it has been tough to come by in there with Cy Tomlin and Radanovic patrolling the paint.
And the key there in that statistic is the field goal percentages. 6 of 23. You got the same, approximately the same amount of field goal attempts, but you're way down in your makes. And if you're missing those type of field goals, and on the other hand, the field goals that Globe are making are on second chance shots. So they're going to shoot 50% down there anytime.
And one factor that doesn't show up there in the stat sheet, and we've mentioned it already, but the crowd factor. Globe has just completely diffused this Monument Valley crowd. They were whipped into a frenzy as the ball game began. They were so ready and so energized. I think they were still riding high and feeling the exhilaration and adrenaline from that last second victory yesterday over Tuba City, and then to come out and see your team fall so flat. But I guess maybe we shouldn't be so surprised, because that's an emotionally draining win, just like it is a killer loss for Tuba City.
It is, and it's one of those wins that, how do you respond? If you can't get up for the game the next day, you've got to reach down in your bench and find someone to step up and give you that lift to start a new ball game.
So we begin this second half. Monument Valley with the basketball. Marino Sullivan. And Globe picking up right where they left off defensively. Doing a nice job cutting off the passing lanes, and Cunningham with a quick steal, courtesy of Boykin. Boykin now gets hammered as he moves into the front court by Phillips.
And that's one of those fouls you don't mind. You take up a quick foul, you've been aggressive. You try to get a backcourt steal, get an easy layup, get the fans into the game. I'll take a chance on that, especially since that's just only the second foul. So you take a chance on that, and you let Kyle Phillips go after it, and hope everyone else is going to pick up after that.
Boykin being defended by Clayton Ed. Senior guard. Porta starts this second half for the Tigers. Nice move inside, slipping down the lane, and to the hoop is Boykin for the easy basket.
And you said it earlier, Jacob Borkins has been able to control the basketball, get the ball to the basket, but not let any type of pressure take him out of the basketball game.
Traveling on Brendan Tallman. And not the half, as we see Kyle Phillips shaking his head as he walks back the other way. We just noticed the body language, Fat, as they were coming out of the locker room, a team trailing halftime. You would expect them to come out with a little fire in their eyes, and didn't see that from Monument Valley.
No, you didn't. They're not really an overly emotional team, but at the same time, there's someone that's got to step up and add some energy.
Boykin's drive lost control, and a traveling call on Boykin. Second half just underway as our championship coverage continues here on Cox 9. Nice move inside by Delmar. Can't convert it, though. We've seen that quite a lot today as well. Boykin being bottled up in the backcourt. Portis setting a nice screen. No-look dish down inside to Tomerlin. And it's going to be last touch, they say, by Ian Delmar.
That's that football pass. He must have watched the halftime show and saw Sam breaking out for a touchdown.
Clayton Ed will sit down, and checking in now is Gavin Clyde.
And Globe did the best thing they could do, work the ball, just get it down inside. Monument Valley has not stopped any inside penetration or any pressure from the Globe.
Phillips on the easy pull-up in the lane, can't get it. Tomerlin shoots the long three, no good. Clark Bennett there, though, for the rebound. Another offensive rebound for the Tigers. Bennett, runner pass to Cunningham, flip it off now to Tomerlin. His little turnaround, batted away by Phillips. Still controlled, though, by the Tigers.
Second and third chance shots.
Trying the backdoor cut, stolen away, though. Quickly into the front court comes Phillips. Phillips leans in, blocked from behind by Cy Tomerlin. And so Phillips will go to the line to shoot a pair.
That's a nice offensive play by Phillips. Kyle knows he can score, goes in, knows the big guy's going to come to him. So he initiates the body contact. Good hands, gets the ball, kick it up, push ahead. Now, Kyle Phillips sees Cy Tomerlin coming. He just initiates the contact, knowing that I can go to the foul line and put some pressure on the Globe Tigers.
38-16, and Phillips barely grazing the front of the rim right there. And
shooters know better than to pull out on free throws.
that shot speaks volumes maybe about the psyche of this Monument Valley team right now.
Don't pull out. If he's sitting there, sitting up straight, and it comes up short, and you do a fall away from the free throw line, it's going to come short.
Phillips taking his time this second go around, and nothing but Klein on this one. Monument Valley picking up full court. Boykin has done a super job most of the evening, though right now he gets tangled up, loses the basketball. But coming back to help is Horta.
And that's the key. What Monument Valley was able to do against Tuba City was every time a offensive player with the basketball turns his back, they ran someone at him. And when you turn your back, you can't see the floor, and you don't know where that defensive trap is coming from. He's going, look, all of a sudden he turns his back. Here comes the other defensive player. You're on the floor. You start scrapping. That gets the crowd into the game. They get a 10-second call on this play, but the Monument Valley players are still trying to get in position to take the charge. Those are hustle plays. Those are things that changes the crowd.
And perhaps Tony Lopez sensing that, though his team leads by 21 at 38-17, he knows how quickly this team can reel off 10, 12 points. And as you point out, the last thing he wants to do is get this crowd back into the ball game, because they have stayed, other than the Globe Tiger fans, relatively quiet.
And the easiest thing to do is get a turnover, get the crowd back into it. So that timeout that Coach Lopez called was a timely timeout, because now it gets everyone settled down and said, hey, we can control the ball. We did a good job over there, and let's continue to do it.
So out of the timeout, Mustangs with the basketball. Phillips jump step into the lane, and that's what kills you as a coach, is to come out of a timeout and then not be able to follow through on the game plan.
Well, what Monument Valley is trying to do now is trying to score. And their best scorer is Kyle Phillips. So they've got to put the ball in his hands and let him try to create something.
Cunningham comes through traffic and just does get it off to Cy Tomerlin. Pass from Horta. Tomerlin on the runner. Won't get the shot, but he will get the foul.
Nice give and go. Tomerlin didn't stop, take that little short jump shot. He tried to get too far from the basket. Got the offensive foul called on him. And that gives him, that's his third foul of the game.
So Radonovich will check back in now for the Tigers. And the Mustangs will call a timeout right here. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. 5:15 remaining in the ball game, in the third, rather. 38-17, Tigers with the lead.
one of the things that Globe has been able to do is to keep the guys fresh, keep fresh guys on the floor.
March 28th is a deadline to nominate student athletes, administrators, officials, and coaches from throughout the state for the AIA Everyday Heroes Awards Gala to be shown live here on Cox 9. That'll take place 7 p.m. on May 31st. Just go to www.aiaonline.org and make your nomination. A lot of worthy candidates out there, I'm sure, so get online today.
And now you watch Globe, and they sit in like a 1-2-2 because all they're doing is sitting on the offensive end from the Mustangs are just one dribble over, and you can switch those. Those are easy to defend, and everyone's just packing it in. So they've got to, they're going to do that. Meaning Globe, if Monument Valley's going to do that, they've got to make sure that the defense comes out and is extended.
Phillip Edwards will come into the ballgame now for Jacob Boykin.
Jacob Boykins did a great job of controlling the tempo, controlling the ball, not having those costly turnovers.
Ian Delmar controlling the rock up top for Monument Valley.
Now Monument Valley has gone into more of a motion type offense where everyone's moving and passing and cutting to the basket. That's the type of offense that's going to help him.
Long three, and he makes the downtown connection. And now a travel on Boykin. Or check that, Radonovich. Radonovich thought he got bumped.
And now you see the Mustangs opening it up when everyone's moving. There's no big guys in there. And as you watched here, the guys are penetrating. There's just no one sitting out on him. The big guy's not going to come out, and Kyle Phillips just knocks down the three.
Tallman fires a three. Look out, back-to-back trays, and this is what Monument Valley's been looking for all game long. Pressure coming. Cunningham loses the dribble, but a foul being called on Phillips. And for Phillips, that is number 4. Couldn't come at a worse time. He just hits a big three. Your team maybe started to go on a little run, and now he's got to head to the bench.
He made a bad decision. He ran. He saw the offensive player running at him. All he had to do is give the offensive player a chance to come down. He tried to go up and make the steal. I think if the defensive player, as a defensive player, you run up, waiting for the offensive guy to make the initial contact. Globe is trying to force the ball down low. They've got the big players in there now, so they're trying to get the ball down low to Ryan Golden.
Tyler Totacini has come into the ball game for Phillips. Clayton Ed, drive dish, kick it out. Tallman sets up, shoots the three, no good. Bennett snares the rebound for the Tigers. Bennett will bring it up himself now. Little floater down the lane, can't get it. Porta battling for the rebound. Cunningham recovers, down inside, Phillips, not there. Tallman skies for the rebound. Here come the Mustangs in transition with a few times tonight.
Second chance shots, second chance attempts.
Ian Delmar with Clark Bennett matched up on him. Shuttles the pass inside to Clayton Ed. Can't get the lay-in. Porta, the rebound. Got that big frame of his moving forward and almost couldn't get it stopped.
They get nice passes getting there. The small guys can't finish down low.
Porta cashes in off the nice feed from Radonovich. And it's 40-23 Tigers.
But I like the offense that Monument Valley has implemented. They've got the guys moving, no one just standing around, or the big guys aren't just standing around trying to pass.
And now we'll get a pushing foul called away from the basketball. And this is going to be an offensive foul called against Gavin Clyde. Clyde will head to the bench, and checking in is Marino Sullivan with 2:59 remaining here in the third. Porta moves up into the front court.
Even the big guys are handling the ball, being able to give the rest, since the best ball handlers aren't in the ball game.
Edwards leaves that jumper short. Todicines pass over to the front court, batted away by Radanovic. Cunningham comes away with it. Now hands it back to Radanovic. Over to Horta. Says, why not? I'll shoot the three. Tallman on the miss. Pace is picked up now the last minute or two, but not paying much dividends for either team. Edge three-point shot, no good. Cunningham with the rebound. Horta's got it.
So now that's the pace that Monument Valley wants to play, but the Globe Tigers are beating them at their own game. They're turning the ball over, they're getting substitutes, they're getting hands on balls, but Globe is making them pay for it because they're getting second chance shots, and the Mustangs aren't scoring.
Nearing the 2-minute mark here in this third period. A 17-point Globe Tiger lead. Pass inside to Horta, batted away. Here comes Delmar racing into the front court. Leans in left hand, won't get it, but he does draw the foul, so he'll go to the line to shoot two.
And Radanovic put his hand up. He knew he was going to foul him. Momentum was in the favor of Ian Delmar going to the basket. Full speed ahead, getting up there. There's nothing you can do from Michael Radanovic. Now they come back in. Globe comes back in with the reinforcements, the big guys. Globe has been able to get the ball inside low. Get the ball inside to the big players, but they haven't been able to do anything with it. Now with Cy Tomlin coming back in, they're going to try to get more inside play where he knows what to do with the basketball down low.
40-24 after the free throw. Edwards swings it around now to Bennett. Tomlin calling for it in the low post. Kick it back out to Bennett. Fires the three. Air ball, but Edwards there to retrieve it and get the easy putback.
That's just like a second chance shot. Don't miss the easy shot. Someone gets it, puts it back in.
Now Clayton Ed is stripped underneath. And right now the Globe Tigers, the quicker, faster hands. Bennett dials long distance and nails the trifecta.
And he had the first one earlier, missed an air ball. All of a sudden wasn't afraid to take a second one.
Another steal. Here come the Tigers. The orange wave. Nice break. Edwards on the lay-in. Counted. He's fouled. He will go to the line. And I think it's safe to say the Tigers have sensed the blood in the water, and like sharks on the attack, they are rolling.
Casey pushing the ball up. No one comes out on. That's like a horse shot. Bennett just sits up there, knocks it down, comes back, let everyone knows it's a three. But then you see the best part of the play. Ball movement. Ball didn't touch the floor. And Bennett shows his enthusiasm with that as well. Nice ball movement. Get easy baskets.
And that last little wave may have been just enough for some of these Monument Valley fans. Radanovic shoots a three, no good. Horta leaping for the rebound. Dish it back out to Cy Tomlin. Many of the Mustang fans beginning to head to the exits.
Well, that's not just second chance shots, but that's a third chance shot. There's a fourth chance shot.
Loose ball foul called down inside. And this last 2 minutes has been impressive, to say the least, by the Globe Tigers.
And what they did, they substituted early. They put Cy Tomlin on the bench. They put Bennett on the bench, Clark Bennett. And then all of a sudden, with 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter, they bring those guys back in who's gotten some rest, watch the pace of the game, and see that, hey, we're doing this, we're not doing that. All of a sudden, they get easy scoring opportunities.
Tomlin tried to kick it across the lane. Radanovic saves it. Tomlin left hand won't get it to go. Mustangs come out of the pack with it. McCary driving, dishing out, left wing, three on the way. Rattles no good. Tomlin with it, spinning out of traffic, but it's stolen back away by Monument Valley. Short jumper, no good. Here comes Radanovic. Tosses into the backcourt. Horta gives chase, and he throws it off of the shoulder of the defender in pursuit, Adrian Doctor. And that's just the way the night has gone for the Monument Valley Mustangs.
And that's the key. They're getting beat at their own basketball game. Those are hustle plays. And when you're hustling like that, Monument Valley is in all ball games, and they're usually the aggressor. And tonight, they've met their match in someone who's playing their basketball game, beating them at it, and then also playing Globe Tiger basketball too.
Well, it's gotten the Globe Tiger fans fired up. They may not be as strong in number, but they're doing their part to create a little noise.
And the key part of that is they're making noise. You can hear them. You can't hear the Monument Valley fans at this point in time because the team on the floor hasn't given them any excitement to get enthused about.
Nice job of handling the pressure from way downtown. Bradanovic reels off a huge three to close out the quarter, and the Tigers now 8 minutes away from capping off a dream season. They roll into the fourth, leading 50-24. 50-24 as we head into the final period of play here for this 3A Boys State Championship at America West Arena, downtown Phoenix. Championship Saturday here on Cox 9. With Pat Lever, I'm Kevin Ray. Glad you could join us. Hope you've been here all day long. We've seen some great basketball. And Pat, as we go into the fourth, I know we were expecting a very different game between these two ball clubs as Kyle Phillips misses the early leaner. He takes the floor in this fourth with 4 fouls, but it really does, as you look back on it now, it's almost as if the Mustangs were completely emotionally drained after that last-second victory over Tuba City yesterday, and they've just been unable to match the level of intensity the Globe stepped on the floor with tonight.
And I'd have to agree with you, Kevin, because they came out, no emotions from the start of the game, none carried over to the fans to get involved. The basketball game with a game winner takes a lot of emotion, a lot of adrenaline, a lot of effort. Whatever you do, you've got to find something to get that back. And the Monument Valley Mustangs wasn't able to do that. And the Globe Tigers, to their credit, they played to their strength. They weren't distracted. They didn't play down to a level of a team that they were better than.
7:43 left to go. McCary with a near steal. They've doubled them up at 50-25, 7:40 remaining. A lot of those Monument Valley fans heading for the exit. It's a long drive ahead, but their presence here today as Edwards drives inside, can't get the shot to go down. He will go to the line, but their presence here today certainly felt, and I know that all of us here at Cox 9 have appreciated their presence here because they brought some enthusiasm and electricity to this place.
I think, Kevin, they brought a crowd. They brought the whole town. They brought the whole community. They brought the whole county. But the people that they brought, I think they still have to be proud of their basketball team. The girls.
Well, it's both the girls and the boys in the state title game. That doesn't happen too often.
And that's important. One of the comments that one of the radio announcers made yesterday was every time Holbrook, Monument Valley, or Tuba City are in basketball games, the gyms at homes are full. So they love their basketball games, and don't let a team like the Globe Tigers take you out of it thinking that you're not worthy. They were worthy. They deserve to be here.
And right now, Globe just putting on a clinic. Cy Tomlin got the cutting Kevin Horta for the left-hand lay-in. And it has been that way from the outset. Phillips launches a long three. Another miss. Edwards on the rebound, on the run. Take it down the lane. Partially deflected. Bradanovic there for another hoop.
That's been the Achilles heel for Monument Valley. They couldn't stop the Globe Tigers off the defensive end for rebounding.
Blocked from behind by Clark Bennett. Retrieving Giving chase, Cy Tomerlin. Tomerlin comes away with it. Jump pass, cross court, now to Edwards. Edwards. Spin back around to Bennett. Well, Bennett was eyeing that long three-pointer and pulls it back out with 6:27 left. Tomerlin out of the high post. Porta can't get the little leaner to go. Now it's off to Lance John. Elisha McCary move in for a 6-footer and shot at 8 feet.
That's just the energy. The energy's not there. And plus, when the Globe team make you work as hard as you do on the defensive end, on the offensive end, you have nothing left.
Bennett with a sweet kiss off the glass and buries it. Bennett with 13 on the evening. Lance John on the drive, stolen away, pass down the floor to Radanovic. He'll go in, uncontested lay-in. And this one is completely out of hand, and Richard Beverly wanting to call a timeout. And I think at this point, empty his bench, and we would anticipate seeing the same for first-year coach Tony Lopez of the Globe Tigers.
Well, I think one of the things you want to get everyone a chance to play, let them enjoy the moment, go out as good sportsmen, enjoy it, and have a great time.
You got to rotate, Ty. You got to rotate, okay?
Reach and just make good ball movement. Nice step in. Clark Bennett just steps up, makes a nice shot off the glass. I don't know if he called bank. But at the same time, everyone gets involved. Hands up, Tomerlin steals the ball, just kicks it ahead, and you get easy backset for Mike Radanovic. That's great basketball. That's team basketball. You saw everyone touch the ball. Even though we talked about Cy Tomerlin a lot, he's done those things that probably he doesn't get credit for, making those easy passes and just passing the ball around and not trying to score a lot of points. Another key to tiredness and fatigue factor is Monument Valley used to be the first team on the floor after timeouts or before the timeouts even start. This time, the Globe Tigers are sitting out there waiting for Monument Valley to come back on board.
Ryan Golden is coming to the ball game now for the Globe Tigers. 5:34 left in this one. John out on the left wing. Shot up inside and a travel. Felix Cowboy being hit with a violation. Monument Valley has continued to apply that full court pressure, but without a whole lot of success. Ball is knocked out of bounds off of the hands of Radanovic. Drive inside, stripped away is Evans Jensen trying to take it to the basket. Well, we just get the unofficial attendance numbers, and the early indication just missing. That state record is Kyle Phillips. Fires away another three-point shot. Nearly 15,000 on hand here tonight. Just 1,000 shy of the state record set back in 2000.
You can see all those people. They didn't count all the ones that snuck in.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Foul down inside is Edwards will go to the line.
When you talk about building a caliber team, and one of the things the Globe has done is they brought in Philip Edwards, who's a junior. Give him some experience time. Let him play a little bit more than normal and get used to showing what leadership and learning that leadership abilities early on as a junior in a state playoff game.
Bobby Wallace will check into the ballgame now for the Globe Tigers. One of the few underclassmen, and that's the one thing we should point out here with 4:49 remaining. Both these teams comprised of a heavy dose of seniors. So any opportunity or any chance of getting back here to the state championship will fall on the shoulders of the underclassmen, the JV players, if you will. Edwards picking the pocket, going down, easy lay-in.
He's had a nice ball game. He's come in, added some defensive pressure. And one of the things that sticks out that we never even talked about is that every time the Monument Valley Mustangs penetrated to the basket where there wasn't a traveling call, the Globe Tigers, they've got a defensive hand on it. They deflected a lot of passes that were normally getting through. And they didn't get through tonight against Globe.
Wallace with a right-handed running hook shot.
Kareem has come into the building.
That brings the bench up. And a smile to his coach's face.
The Monument Valley fans like that shot.
Get another look at it. What do you think, Kareem or Wallace? Close your eyes.
The thing about it, that's the shot he was going to take.
The only thing he was missing was the goggles.
He wasn't going to take a jump shot. He thought he was going for a hook shot.
He's still smiling. He'll be smiling about it tomorrow, and why not?
That's a better shot than making a bank shot than calling it in midair. That's one of those shots that, hey, I planned on taking that shot. It looked like I planned that from the get-go.
Edwards driving the lane. Can't get it, but they're on the follow. Is Clark Bennett. Phillips drives, scoop it up right hand, get the easy lay-in. Not much defense being played on either end.
No, not.
Now over the last minute or two.
No, it's a time. It's not a stat time. It's a time to get the game over so everyone leaves the game healthy so they're able to enjoy it.
Now a steal in the backcourt. Tallman has it. He gets the right hand lay-in. William Celestua getting ready to come into the ball game for the Globe Tigers. Driving shot, this one way off of the mark. Ryan Golden couldn't get that one, but Tallman comes back. Tigers will call a quick timeout here with 2:48 remaining as head coach Tony Lopez has maybe seen a little too much of the rec league like basketball here over the last 2 minutes. Wants to finish with a little honor and class here.
And keep everyone healthy at the same time, because in red ball, when it starts getting open like this, tempers start to get out of hand, and all of a sudden you got something that's not necessarily in a blowout championship basketball game.
I do want to remind you that there are still some championships yet to be claimed. And that is the 4A and 5A coming up. I want to make sure you keep it tuned here to Cox 9, March 3rd and 4th for the 4A girls and boys AIA High School Basketball Championships. It all started at 5:30 p.m. We'll see who the survivor is. Oh, the madness here on Cox 9. You're home for high school sports.
We've seen some great basketball games all week long. They continue next week. And if you don't get a chance to go out and watch some of the teams play before they get to the championship game, please get out and watch some of those games, because there's a lot of talent going around in the Valley.
Greenway upset last night. Long three-point shot by Kyle Phillips.
It always amazes me when guys look tired, but if they're a shooter, they can always shoot the ball. No matter how
just
far away
enough
from the
energy
basket.
and bounce in those legs to get another one up. 66-37. The Tigers now 2-22 away from a 33-0 season. Clark Bennett, big night. 17 points. Phillips will shoot another three. This one won't find its way through the net.
And to Clark Bennett's benefit, he's been a scorer, but he's done a great job of going back in, helping on the rebounds as well.
Number 21, Josh Key.
Radonovich and Bennett will both take a seat. They get a standing O from their fans here. Boykin comes back in. Wallace grabbing the rebound, and we'll get a jump ball being called underneath.
Those are those little reach-in fouls that you get good to the basket. And the Monument Valley team, they usually make those shots as they're going to the basket, little floater shots. Tonight, they're hitting off the back of the rim, and they're hitting the backboard hard.
Well, the one thing I'll say, too, about this Globe Tigers team is what I think makes this all the more impressive is the fact that many of these players did play on the football team. You're talking about almost 5 extra weeks of football, Pat. And so to quickly change things over, convert, if you will, from football to basketball conditioning, I think it just speaks volumes about this ball club, and a player I think everybody wanted to see coming to the ball game, and finally is number 15, the 3A football player of the year, Talmadge Hansen.
Well, that's a great experience when you get a chance to win dual championships, one in different sports. That's quite a feat, and then to be able to participate in them, that's even a double feat.
Celestua will let fly the three-point shot. When you can see from the size of the Globe players as well that late football conditioning, perhaps in a weight room, just the difference in their size versus those of Monument Valley.
But that's good for you. I always believe that if a guy can play more than one sport, let him play it because it develops you. And one of the greatest things going now is soccer. Kids that play soccer at an early age, whether it's foot, hand, eye coordination, it adds foot speed for you. And when you get into it later or early, I think it's a benefit. These guys are playing both sports, enjoy both sports as long as you can participate in both.
Kyle Phillips at the line, and Phillips really has been the only legitimate and consistent scoring threat all night long, as Boykin will sit down and gets a congratulatory pat there from Tony Lopez. Phillips looking for his 22nd point. Can't get it. He says, why not? I'll shoot another three. Ring him up.
It looks like he's got plenty of energy to shoot those threes, too.
Celestua loses a dribble now. Mustangs trying to convert back on this end. Phillips shoot another one. Hansen falling out of bounds, trying to save the loose ball. Well, special thanks today, while we have a moment, to our statisticians Bob Colwin and Josh Hall. And, of course, a super job by our stage manager, Sarah Simpson. Our producer, Rich Reed.
One of the comments earlier was about Phillips, Kyle Phillips. He's a quiet player, but you all of a sudden look up, and he's got 27 points now. They're quiet. He's a scorer. That's
He just keeps firing away, yeah. He'll shoot another three, and he'll get three maybe the easy way, depending on how you look at it, from the free throw line, as he was fouled from behind.
He's got a nice stroke. I mean, he's a cool, calm, collected player. Overmatched, had to play inside against Cy Tomlin, and his strength is going outside, shooting over guards. And when he tried to match up against Cy Tomlin, he couldn't do it. Cy Tomlin took him inside, took him outside when he was there or needed to, and took advantage of his size and also his outside shooting ability.
.29 now for Phillips, who's played with 4 fouls for quite some time now. Couldn't get the 30th point. Well, he might get it here, though, after he gets a steal. A long three-point shot up the heel of the iron. The follow is up and in.
Second chance point for Monument Valley.
David Baker getting that one. Celestua will be fouled in the front court. He'll go to the line and shoot the bonus. Final 10 seconds as we get a reach-in foul. Going to be called on Globes. Tucker Terhufen. Now Phillips back at the line looking for his 30th point of the night.
I don't know if he called bank or not. But he looked over to the side of the bench and maybe he told him he was going to bank it.
Well, no magical finish this time for the Monument Valley Mustangs. It will be heartbreak instead, but still a solid season as Phillips' last second shot off the mark. The Globe Tigers finish a perfect season. They win tonight 68-51 the final. And they cap a 33-0 season. We'll be back with a trophy presentation after this. Well, a day of championships has been capped off here tonight with the 3A boys being crowned the Globe Tigers, victorious just as they were back in December in football. They defeat the Monument Valley Mustangs, taking home the runner-up trophies in both the boys and the girls Class 3A. Congratulations to head coach Richard Beverly and the Monument Valley Mustangs as they finish the season at 23-9. For the Globe Tigers, well, not much needs to be said, Pat Lieber. 33-0 pretty much puts an exclamation point on what has been an absolutely marvelous season.
Marvelous season for the Globe Tigers to go undefeated and then to go in the state championship game and blow out a well-deserving team in the Monument Valley boys basketball team, to beat them by such a wide margin. But at the same time, your hand goes out to Richard Beverly for his guys, whether it was the momentum that they gained from the Tuba City game or to this one, whatever, they deserve to be here, and they were just outplayed by a better team this evening.
Well, the city of Globe has something to be feeling very special about. 3A football champions and now 3A basketball champions. And memories that will last with these young men and really this town for a long, long time to come.
And what you said about a classic is now this is the 3A basketball champions, the 3A football champions, and in 25 years they'll be back all together once again, because we saw earlier what the camaraderie and the history and how the heritages are built, and this is what it's all about.
Now, just a reminder, championship basketball not done here on Cox 9. The madness continues March 3rd and 4th for the 4A, 5A girls and boys AIA High School Basketball Championships starting at 5:30 p.m. You want to see who survives this March Madness? We've got it all for you live here on Cox 9. Great teams still fighting for it. A great day. We hope you've enjoyed it. The 1A through 3A champions crowned, the 4A, 5A coming up on March 3rd and 4th. For our entire Cox 9 crew and all those on hand here at America West Arena, for Pat Lieber, I'm Kevin Ray, saying so long and good night from America West Arena.